Listen, I understand that powder under eye concealer sounds like a disaster, but what if it's the secret to avoiding creasing? If you watched my video titled 7 Mature Makeup Struggles Solved, you might remember that I quickly mentioned this powder concealer by Bare Minerals. Well, the comment section in that video blew up with requests asking me to dive deeper and compare it to a traditional liquid concealer. So that's exactly what we're doing. Let's go. Now, I'll be honest, I almost delayed filming because I woke up with some kind of allergic reaction this morning. My skin is very bumpy. I just have these little rough, bumpy areas, and my under eyes are extra puffy and very textured. They are way better now. You should have seen it this morning. Like when I first woke up, it was really bad. And normally that feels like the worst time to test out concealer. And to be totally real, I was also just feeling very self-conscious about it too. I didn't know how I felt about being so naked on the internet when I am so puffy like this. But then I thought, that's real life, right? We don't always wake up looking our best. And puffiness is something that so many of us deal with. So maybe today is actually the perfect day to see how these formulas really, really perform when the under eyes aren't like flawless and perfect. I'm choosing to make lemonade out of lemons today, okay? This is the lemons. We're making lemonade. Let's start with a little hydration, which is what I always start with. So I'm using my HaruHaru Wonder Hyaluronic Acid Toner. This gives me really nice moisture, but it's not greasy. It doesn't break anything down. It just plumps the under eyes a little bit, gives me enough moisture to support the concealer without being so much moisture that it's going to break down the concealer. Now, before I go in with my concealers, I actually have to start with the color corrector. And the reason I have to do that is because I have a medium skin tone and I have a lot of blue. Do you see that right there? I have a lot of blue. I have a lot of shadowing here. If I go in with a concealer right off the gate, what's going to happen is the concealer isn't going to have the power to correct the blue. So it's going to create a little cast of gray. Now, the color corrector that works well for me is peach or like light orange, okay? And I'm going in with this color corrector by a brand called Vasanti. Vasanti is actually a Canadian beauty brand, which I love because I am Canadian and I like supporting my Canadian sisters. It was actually founded by a group of South Asian women who couldn't find products that really worked for their skin tones and undertones. So they built this line to be very inclusive, focusing on formulas that brighten, correct, and look natural on medium, olive, and deeper complexions where traditional concealers often do fall short. So as you can see, when it comes to color correctors, I really just apply it on the areas where I have a lot of blue and nowhere else. I don't need to apply it on my entire under eye because I don't have blue in here. I have a little bit of redness here, but nothing that a concealer can't cover. We want to keep the layers under the eye as thin and fine as possible because the more you stack on under the eyes, the more risk you get of that like heavy, cakey, kind of very accentuated, wrinkly look. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. If you have issues like me under the eyes, you definitely know. So because of that, we want to keep things like as light as possible. So I just applied a really thin little layer right where I have blue. And then when I stipple it in, do you see how the blue's already canceled out? I'm keeping it away from like all of these little lines around my eyes because I don't have blue there and we don't need it. But we do need it where the under eye meets the cheek. Let's do the powder concealer first because I know you guys are dying to learn about it. I totally know. So this one is Bare Minerals. It's the Eye Brightener. Okay, this only comes in one color, which I understand is kind of like, how? I get it. To be honest, I've only tested it on people that are around my skin color. I've really, really liked it on my skin color, but I haven't tested it on anyone who's very fair or more deep. So I don't know if it would work incredibly well on a range of skin colors. You know, I can't tell you with full certainty because I haven't done it, but I can tell you that it has incredible reviews. People are obsessed with this. They absolutely love it. I've been using it for about a month and a half, 2 months. And I gotta say, I really like it too, especially when I am in a hurry and I don't have time to do all of the things. I put a little color corrector, I pop this on and it does look really, really good. So what I like doing is using my BK Beauty N16 concealer brush. And then I go right into the areas of darkness and I stipple it out. And I do find that you can build this up quite a bit. Do you see that? It goes on almost a little bit creamy, which is crazy because it is a powder. I also like to always lift and brighten right here. So let's snatch that out. So that's that. What do you guys think? Do you like it? It's very, very different, huh? It's a really cool product. You can't buy this in Canada, which sucks. I actually was in the States with some of my creator friends in early July, and Penny, you know, Penn Smith Skincare, her husband and her drove me to Ulta to buy this on the way to the airport to go home because I was like, I need this in my life. I tried to order it on American Amazon. They wouldn't ship it to me. And I think it's because of the SPF. Canadian and American SPF standards are very different. So I literally couldn't get this until I went to the States, but I had to get my hands on it. It's not even a new product, but I started reading reviews and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, how cool if this works? It's a lot easier to control and manage than a liquid concealer. I feel like it's a faster, easier way to do like a day-to-day look. And if it doesn't crease, because it's a powder, but it doesn't look ashy or drying, it is the best of all the worlds. This is like the solution to all of the concealer problems that we have as we get older. You guys know I talk about concealer so much on the channel because dark circles, puffiness, hollowness, the opposite of puffiness, those are all things that happen as we age. The under eyes age the quickest. It's the first thing that shows signs of aging, right? In that mid to late 30s, you really start to see it. It's something that makes people feel very self-conscious, but then all the fixes also cause issues. The concealer creases, the concealer adds texture, it makes you look more crepey. So if this is going to kind of brighten without doing that, it literally is the solution to all of our problems. So I just was like so determined to get this. So thank you, Penn and Jared, for driving me to Ulta on my way to the airport. Okay, before we move on, I want to tell you something else about this. Okay, so this is called Well Rested Under Eye Brightener. It only comes in this color, like I said. There's also the loose powder concealer, which is a powder concealer like this, but it's a little bit different. It comes in 4 different shades. I haven't tried that one. I need to go and get it because now I feel like I need to do a comparison video, don't you think? Let me know in the comments if you think I should do that. But that concealer has a matte finish, whereas this one, as you can see, has a luminous finish because it's supposed to brighten and luminosity brightens. This concealer is medium coverage, whereas that concealer, the other one, is sheer to full coverage. So there are some key differences. I'm gonna pop up some graphics that I found online for you guys to take a look. You can even screenshot it if you want to compare. But if you need more color options, then you can try that one. Although that one is matte, whereas this one is luminous. That one is sheer to full, whereas this one is medium. So hopefully that helps you make your purchase decisions. Again, I haven't tried the other one, but I kind of need to now because I've been reaching for this all the time. And when I did it on my model in that other video, she was really excited about it, which is kind of a bummer because I couldn't give it to her because I can't get it again. And she's not gonna be able to get it because she's in Canada either, but that is what it is. Bare Minerals, if you're watching this, which I doubt you are, but if you are, please make this available to us. We want it. We want it so bad. Moving on to the other side. So I'm gonna use the Lancome Teint Idole All Over Concealer. I got hooked on this when I filmed with Angie Hot and Flashy. This is her favorite concealer, well, at least it was back then. You know, beauty creators try so many things that our favorites change on the dime. But back then she told me that this was a great concealer for mature eyes. And Angie has tested and knows everything. She's actually an amazing creator and she's an awesome human too. So I bought it on her recommendation. It's been one of my favorite concealers of all time. This has a natural matte finish. So it's a little bit different from this one, which is luminous. This is also loved by a lot of the mature beauty community, a lot of the mature makeup community in general. You can see in the reviews, a lot of mature women will review this as one of their all-time ride or die favorite concealers. It was even awarded the best luxury concealer. It really is very good. You know what I even found online when I was researching this? Amanda Seyfried even loves this concealer. She actually talked about it in a reel, and I was like, oh my goodness.
You might be thinking, what's that on her face? That's my eczema. And I too suffer from perioral dermatitis. When I was 19, I started developing the rash. I can't live without this Teint Idole concealer. You see how easy that was? I don't need to get rid of all the redness. I wouldn't know how to even try.
Now, when it comes to concealer, if anyone tells you that the concealer does not crease, they are lying. That is impossible. Every concealer creases, and you wanna know why? It's because our skin is warm, it heats up the product. The product is going to move into divots. It's very natural. It's not gonna become stagnant across divots in the skin. That's like literally impossible. It doesn't work like that. You may think it works like that when you see it under studio lighting with filters and all of like the bells and whistles of the creator world. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But in real life, I have never, in 20 years as a makeup artist, ever used a concealer that doesn't crease if you don't set it with powder, ever, 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 ever. Even this is gonna crease, trust me, it's gonna crease. We'll see it throughout the day and you're gonna notice that it's also gonna crease. It is just an evil that is unavoidable. It just is what it is. Where I'm going with this is that we have to set it. We just have to set it. So I'm gonna set it with my favorite under-eye setting powder of all time. It's the Laura Mercier Secret Color Correcting Long Wear Under-Eye Setting Powder. This isn't sponsored. Laura Mercier has never sponsored a video I've ever made, but I love this powder because it's made specifically for under the eyes, so it's not overly drying, but it does set the concealer well. It also brightens. You can get color correcting pigments if you want to. I only buy number 1, which is translucent, but it's actually light reflecting, which is really nice. It's also talc free. It has like a soft focus finish. It gives a bit of radiance under the eye, gives a little bit of glow, but it's not at all sparkly, which is really nice. It's also used by a lot of celebrity makeup artists. So Sarah Jessica Parker's makeup artist, she's talked about using it on Sarah Jessica Parker. It's a phenomenal powder. It's been around for a while. I've had it forever. But nothing compares to it. It's so good. Do you see that? It looks perfect. Let me finish my makeup so I feel better about my face today. Feeling very inspired by peaches today, you guys. Here's a little tip if you're ever feeling very puffy, especially like directly under the eyes near the lash line, just shove that area into a shadow. Add a little smidge of mascara under there. My gosh, everything is itchy right now. What is going on with my face today? Oh, everything is itchy. You guys want to see a blush that I have been absolutely loving that I just got and is new? You've never seen it. It's actually this. It's by IT Cosmetics. It's the Sun Blush and it is in the color Sun Warmth 30. Look at this beautiful color. It is the most beautiful peachy tone ever. This blush actually has a lot of luminosity to it. So if you don't like a more radiant, glowy blush, you might not like this, but I love it. It's just the perfect cream formula where it's dewy enough and blendable enough that it melts into the skin, but not so wet that it also doesn't last. You know what I mean? Sometimes cream blushes that are really wet, they last like 5 minutes on the skin and then they're gone. One thing that I learned from Rosemary Swift, who created RMS Beauty, and she was doing my makeup for that video. I love that video. You guys loved it too. It was so fun doing that with her. She taught me that if you have this kind of divot here, which is what I have, and I know a lot of you guys struggle with it too, to add a little blush there so that you're kind of extending the cheek up and you don't notice it as much. So I've been doing that ever since. See, I'm adding it like not under the eye, but where that little divot meets the cheek. Just pop a little blush in there. It will really help soften it out. And then we can add a little bit of this peachy gloss. This is by the brand Milk Touch, and it is in the color 01 New Peach Bear. Now, because I used quite a bit of powder, especially under the eye, right? The whole concealer is a powder on this side. And on this side, I use the setting powder. I'm gonna use a setting spray to melt the powder into the skin. This is a really important step that I think if you're not a makeup artist, you might not know or understand how important it is. It's a really, really, really good idea to get a setting spray. The type of setting spray you get is up to you. You can get some for oil control like Urban Decay De-Slick. You can get some for luminosity. Jane Iredale has one in a red bottle that's really great for bringing luminosity and hydration. This one I find is kind of an all-purpose setting spray. It's Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray by Charlotte Tilbury. It's not gonna make you luminous. It's not gonna make you matte. It's just a long-wearing, extending setting spray that melts powders in really, really well and makes your skin look beautiful. So I always do this whenever I'm using powder products under the eyes. So literally every day, because I want to melt those powder products in. I want them to set the concealer so the concealer doesn't move, but I don't want them to sit on top of the skin and make me look dry, especially under the eyes, right? Then what you can do is you can just let it dry and you're good, but you can also push it in with the Beauty Blender. Sometimes I do that to really get all of those products to sit perfectly in the skin. See how much better that looks now that I did that? Here's the finished look in studio light in 4K with absolutely no filters used. This is what it looks like immediately after application in natural lighting. So just off the bat, if I'm being honest, I'm not loving how this side is looking. I liked it a lot when I first applied it, and when my under eyes are hydrated and nice and they're really crinkly right now from this allergic reaction, like they're just a little bit raw. I am feeling like it's accentuating it. It's not like this one looks flawless either because of all of those issues, but this looks much smoother than this one. If I'm being honest, I think this is actually drawing a lot of attention, which sucks because I actually love this concealer. I don't want to give it a bad rap at all. I've been using it all the time, and when my under eyes are smoother, it really does a nice job and is very fast to use. But yeah, right now with this like issue that I'm having, I feel like it is kind of accentuating it a little bit. This is how it looks 8 hours later in studio lighting. And here it is in natural lighting. So I obviously put on my lipstick again just now, but I haven't done any touch-ups to my skin at all. And one thing that I can tell you is that the powder side is definitely accentuating texture significantly more than the old classic of Color Corrector liquid concealer and a really good under eye setting powder. I wish this wasn't the case. And honestly, I have been using the Bare Minerals concealer for months. This isn't always the case. My skin, like I said, for whatever reason, I don't know what I'm reacting to, but I'm having a reaction and my skin is bumpy and flaky and puffy and it's just like very dry and raw. And it's clinging to those dry patches significantly. And I think the biggest issue is that since it is luminous, it's drawing like arrows to the texture. So if your under eyes naturally are quite textured, unfortunately, I would stay away from this unless you apply it in an extremely strategic way. If you have darkness, but you don't have a lot of textural issues and dryness, I actually think this is awesome for that. I think it's a really quick and easy way to look rested and brightened and lifted. It's just that you can't use it on skin that is very dry because you will emphasize the texture for sure. Now, if you guys are intrigued by this concealer and you want to know which other concealers actually beat this concealer in a full day wear test, I tested the most viral concealers ever on my skin, one after another over 5 days, and I ranked them from the best performing to the worst performing, and this one did not rank as #1. So if you want to know which one did rank as #1, then you're gonna have to watch this video next, because this one's over.